I made it. Am I here? I'm here. Let's see if it goes through. It should. It's almost like it's my first time every time. Oh, man. Let me just make sure I pop up on the screen here. I'm almost positive. Yeah. Sound working? All right. I should be good. We're just going to let that ride. Okay. All right. Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Ride. Usually it's like 19 seconds off. Hopefully somebody can hear me. I got the chat pulled up. I might be talking to myself, which is perfectly fine because I'm used to that. But I I prepared. It's funny because I put these things in advance, and I give myself like 2 days, and give myself, and I say I give y'all, but really I give myself like 2 days to get this right. And I might be streaming to the complete wrong streaming key. I'm super bright right now, but the cool thing is my dog is back there too. So little Fallon's back there, which is awesome. Pretty excited about that. I might be streaming to a completely different key. I'm like running around, like the computer froze up, so I was trying to get that straight, and then it like froze while I was trying to restart like some programs, and I was like, well, let me just restart the whole thing, and yeah, that yeah, we're moving on. I'm almost positive I just streamed to like a completely different key, but it is what it is. There's always a playback, right? I always say like when it comes to these live streams that I don't expect anybody to show up. If people show up, I mean it's like infinitely more fun for me for sure, because I ride the difference between having my GoPro, doing my motovlogs, or doing talking head videos, or whatever I do. The difference is I'm talking to myself. I talk to myself all the time. Sometimes without the GoPro or the 360. So having you all around is pretty fun. I enjoy it quite a bit. But I've got some talking points that I want to get into, and I just finished the video. I have to work on the description for this Sunday, episode 115, I think. It's pretty wild. It's going fast for sure. But let me restart this. See if I got the right thing going. Probably not. This button. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so Lucky Aces. Yeah, I don't know. It usually pops up. I was kind of just getting into it a little bit. So Lucky Aces said he hit the refresh. I've been on other people's live stream, and I'll have the notification bell and all that stuff notify me when the person goes live. And then I'll even be waiting on the page, and it doesn't do anything until I refresh it. So I don't know if that's like a normal thing. I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know if it's me or the person that's streaming or something like that. But yeah, hit the refresh, and the live didn't start. Had to back out and then come back in. Yeah, it was odd. Yeah, so that's what I deal with typically. I just got into it. Basically, I was just joking around. I was like, I probably got like a different streaming key. I'm pretty sure that I got it. I was good on my end as far as OBS. Right below the camera is my laptop. Well, laptop right here. So that's got all my controls and everything for OBS. But I have like stream key and stuff, and it should have recorded from that. I didn't start a new one, so it should have been good. But whatever. I'm here. You're here. Anybody else shows up, that's icing on the cake. You're icing on the cake. Have you ever been told that? You're icing on the cake, man. Lucky. Yep. But I was joking. I was like, I do this like community post or something. I'm not super big into them, but I pop them up every once in a while, and it's for sure for the lives. And I was joking, like I give like y'all notice, like two-day notice that I'm gonna do a live, but it's really for me to get set up for this. So I try to take it serious, as far as like having talking points and discussion, just in case, because just like old school, or just like, as when you film, you're talking to yourself, you're talking to the GoPro or whatever, 360, whatever anybody has, and then upload it later on for the world to see. Whereas this, I'm in the mindset that I'll hit my bullet points, and if anybody watches the playback, it's fine. But I come from a world before this is episode 6, I believe, from Beyond the Ride. where I just like would live stream to nobody, and that's always a luxury, a blessing to have other people involved with the channel, including you. So now I've called you an icing on the cake and a blessing. Look at that. So nah, it's cool, man. But I ran home. I like to give myself just enough time to get squared away, and then not enough time to fix any issues that might arise. So some programs didn't upload, and or some apps. Try to get Premiere Pro to make sure it would go on one screen and not the other in case I needed to pull it up, and then it froze, and then I tried to back out and I couldn't do it, and the OBS froze up, so I just restarted everything, and it said OBS like it's not running smooth. So that may have been actually, it said you can go in safe mode, and since it didn't shut down properly, so it may have been that my fault on that end, because I just ran normally. I was gonna restart the whole thing again, but I was already behind. One of these days, I'm just gonna start early, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. But yep, sweating, running around, hit the gym, did all that stuff. No monster today. No monsters. No monster today until tonight, right? There you go. There's always ways around it. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We got a couple things I want to discuss on episode 6 of Beyond the Ride. I hope everybody's doing well. I know that it's pretty freaking hot. I was joking at work because it's making national news, global news, right? So they're talking about how hot it is and all this other stuff, and I'm like, and I'm sweating. I sweat. All right, so I'm like sweating to death over here, but I'm just dealing with it because you know why? Because it's the summertime, and they act like it's a big news and all that stuff, and I know it's a lot harder on the elderly community and people that work outside and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's like, this happens every year, and then they'll say, oh, it hasn't happened in this town, blah, blah, whatever. And then guess what? In the wintertime, they'll talk about how cold it is. Yeah, got to have something to talk about, right? But I hope everybody's hydrating, as I say that one more time. Perfect. Everybody's hydrating, staying cool. I know there's been some discussion between YouTube and Instagram about how hot it is and too hot to ride and everything. And I think, obviously it's up to everybody that wants to go out there and ride a motorcycle whenever they want to. But one thing too is you can kind of pick and choose where you want to ride. If I'm going to ride in the heat of the day, if I want to ride in the heat of the day, which I'm not opposed to, but I'm going to take some roads with less traffic signals, few and far between stop signs, some open roads and stuff where it's not really traveled too much. Maybe where you see some combines and some other farm equipment, then you're in a good spot. As long as they don't take up the whole road. Of course, I've seen people go underneath the combine too. So let's see. How about that? Pull up the little itinerary, the agenda. I call it the Incident Action Plan, IAP. That's some fire department stuff right there. Let's see. That was last time. So I will pull this up. And does this work? Let's try this. Yeah, this will work. Boom. All right, so just gonna go over. I got look at that, man. I tell you what, I pre-planned this stuff. Cold here. Got the yeah. You're on the other side. You're on the other side. Yeah, enjoy it, right? Everybody's hot. Everybody's complaining about how hot it is, and then you got the cold temps. So somewhere in the middle would be perfect, right? At least you can bundle up pretty good, and it's always nice to have a fire. So welcome. Thanks for hanging out there, TC. Let's see. Okay, so I talk about play on words here. The Incident Action Plan, IAP. It's gonna go over Beyond the Ride, episode 5, the Debacle. So that was last live stream Sunday, I think it was, a week and some change ago, I guess, about a week and a half, something like that. Episodes 113 and 114 conversations. There's 4 comments I want to go over. Something about maintenance videos that I'm going to discuss a little bit, and a sneak peek for Sunday, obviously. So I think that when it comes to it, I always want to go over. I mentioned in a video a little bit ago, and I'll figure out what that one was called, but I always want to, go over some comments. So when I go over the episodes, the previous, 2 episodes or so, 2, 3, 1, however many episodes it was between my last live, I want to pick like 1 or 2 comments or something that kind of have a little discussion. And I always say, for example, in the video, and I'll pull it up, I'll figure it exactly. Randomly Cheese, what's up, man? Yeah, long time no talk, right? Hope you're doing well. Staying cool, warm, hot, whatever temperature you want it to be. But yeah, I know everybody's fighting between cold and hot. Even the nights, man, they're muggy here in Virginia. Went for a walk with Fallon yesterday, and we didn't go to the track. We didn't go to the school. We usually go there at like midnight and run around. Well, she runs around. I just walk. She runs like 10 miles. I'll walk like 2 miles around the track at like midnight, and she's just constantly running. But it's so freaking hot. So very muggy. But yesterday we just went around the neighborhood, and it was just like 1 more degree, and it just would have been a downpour. Let's see. But yeah, I mentioned in a video, and I'll try to pull it up here while I'm talking. 2 things at once, probably not going to happen. Let's be honest. But I pulled up in a video where I wanted to discuss, like, if you leave a comment, I think it's right here actually, episode 93-ish. I guess I should have pulled my channel up. That's all right. I got part of it. But it was like episode 94, 93, whatever. And it was basically like, if you leave a comment and it's like, let's say it's like 3 or 4 days have gone by. A lot of people may, if you're going to watch my video, obviously, like any YouTube video, you're going to watch within like the first, 48 hours, let's say 72 hours, maybe 3 days. So if you leave a comment in the beginning, you may not see other people's comments, and vice versa. If you leave a comment on the, 4 days in, somebody might not have seen it. So I had an idea to, let's see, let me just do this. I had an idea to basically like show everybody else's comment. And if anybody's not ever comfortable, I know it's the internet, so it should be a no-brainer. I'm just trying to play it safe for people, because I want everybody to, I don't want to throw anybody out there as far as something that they're not comfortable with. Let's see. 2 seconds. I mean, this isn't going to help. Whatever. Well, it's called Not Just a Comment Section, a Real Conversation. And it's episode 94 officially. We'll move on. We get the gist of it. So if people, that's why I want to like bring a couple comments here. Nothing crazy, because I think when I first started, I was like, it was hard for me to pick and choose and decipher between a couple comments or excuse me, any of the comments, saying like one wouldn't be worth telling or whatever, because all worth sharing. And I really enjoy. I talk about it a little bit in the next video coming up on Sunday, but that's one of my favorite things about the channel is like the comments and going back and forth, the lives here, for example. It means a lot to me. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and then bouncing it back on everybody else's channel and having discussions there too. Definitely a lot of fun. So let's go into. I'll just talk about the first point here. Oh man, it's randomly trees talking about having some hip issues. So been off the bike since last week. Otherwise doing good. Yeah, okay, good to see you. Yeah, man, good to see you. Nice to have everybody here. Thanks again. Like I said, the whoever's here, appreciate y'all being here, spending some time and all that stuff, and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, rest up, man. Heal up. That sucks. I tell you what, that's what like Swinglish Steve is going through his sciatica. He's having issues. I think he was talking about what should be good now. But last video, I was going over. I did it a while ago when I first started streaming. I was kind of editing videos, and it's kind of hard for me to really focus, I guess, on. Well, let me finish that. Hold on before y'all jump. It was hard for me to focus on editing and trying to make it entertaining, I guess, in a way. Especially if you don't like editing. And then I was going to do it just as that was how I used to do it. So it kind of like threw me off my game as far as editing, because I was trying to do like you're trying to edit like your focus on editing, but then you also focus on, and nobody showed up, nobody was there back in the day. Like I said, that's why I really appreciate where this channel's gone, and that's an understatement. But and then also focus on like the chat or something like that, with having conversations. And as you know, even sitting through here in the first 20 minutes or so, like, it's easy for me to ping pong on ideas and stuff. It's great for me to be able to discuss. There's never a dull moment, maybe a dull moment, but never a dull moment as in like dead space, dead air. Because I can talk to the wall. We've all had this discussion about me. But the part of me editing last week was between my headphones, there was a delay for not for you, but for me to hear. So when I was trying to discuss, like, cutting it, I used Premiere Pro, so Adobe, and when I was cutting it and trying to go back to the playback to see where I cut it, my hearing, the audio was off by like maybe like a second. Okay, but of course that's too much, and I could bounce it off sound waves and stuff like that, in the audio track, but it just wasn't worth it, and it was going to be terrible. It was going to take longer to edit, the audio, and there's sometimes where I gotta make sure I'm really getting out taking out words. I will take out. So for example, this Sunday video, I'll take out something that doesn't need to be said, or if I say the same thing twice, or if I were to stutter on a word or something, I leave some of them in, but some other ones I'll take out, if it sounds too weird, or if I say the same thing twice, like real quick, or whatever, or within like the same sentence at the beginning and end, or whatever it is, for example, I can take that out and I can replace it with some engine noise, or if I'm at a standstill, if I'm revving, or not revving, but if I'm idle, or if I'm traveling at whatever interstate speed, I can find a clip where it's just that noise, bring it over, paste it in there, and then almost like a fade, so they match together, but just like for like a frame, so you don't really hear it, especially if you're not listening for it, maybe. But other than that, it didn't work out so hot. There's something I'm planning on doing in the future for those that really want to maybe get involved and see that side, but I don't want to I don't want to say waste. I don't want to use a live that I do, and this is kind of my staple right now, where we're at right now. So today's Wednesday the 25th. In 3 weeks, my goal is to do another live. So I'm on my 3-day break. So if you go back here, some of y'all have seen this before, but I've got, this is all my live. Boom. So this is my live folder or whatever, and eventually I'm actually looking to get rid of Canva and just try to. I already pay for Adobe. I think it's called Adobe Suites, and it has Photoshop and Lightroom and all that stuff where I can do all this in Photoshop, for example. I just need to learn a lot more before I feel comfortable leaving this behind, because this is very, very easy to use. But this is my schedule. Just doesn't matter the month. I'm just saying I work every day that's X'd out, for example, is a day that I work, and I work 24 hours. So if you're familiar with that, currently right now here, the 11, 12, and 13, that's a 3-day break. So I work Tuesday, 24 hours, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Monday. I'm off for 3 days. Then I work Friday, Sunday, then I'm off 2, then I work Wednesday, then I'm off 5. Mrs. Firefighter, my wife, typically works these 3 days right here that I'm circling, right? Can you see it? Yeah, 11, 12, and 13. So that's why I said these that I circled, these Wednesdays, well, I don't know why I circled that, to be honest with you. Let's just put it this way. This right here in the middle is my my live day. I think I want to do. Every cycle is the same. It rotates. It's the same. My videos are every Sunday over here, and then every third Wednesday will be this. And then I can have. That's why I circled it, because I can have bonus episodes I might throw on a Wednesday. I do plan on doing some more bonus episodes, maybe some short 5-minute ones or something along with that. But that's kind of like my mindset. I know because last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago I threw in a live, so it was a little different. But I just wanted to kind of edit a video, and I wanted to do it on here. The good news is I call it a debacle, but in the grand scheme of things, it worked out pretty well, because I was able to go over, answer a couple questions, hear what you guys do for editing, for example. I think I can put. I always feel like I need to put. Let's see. Yeah, watch this. I'm about to move over. I like, oh shoot. Oh no. Let's just do this. Boom. I like me smaller. That's even better. Technology. OBS is awesome, because I can literally move that anywhere I want. Oh shoot, messed up. See, look. I didn't mean to do that. I'm back. I can move, I tried to say I can move the picture anywhere I want. See? Boom. Yep. And then I can delete that. Boom, I'm back. So I really like that. I think that's just cool. Nerding out. Anyway, let's see what else we got. So I was saying, as far as like the debacle, like I got my cursor. I gotta have like a big cursor too. I do that. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Look at that. Yeah. Now you know what I'm talking about. So I was able to hear what y'all do for editing. I was able to kind of go. I didn't nearly go into what I wanted to for the most part, but I was still able to utilize that time or whatever. Hopefully, it wasn't a complete waste of time. Episode 5, last episode for this Beyond the Ride, going live, and a couple things like the pops, the how to eliminate pops in audio pops when you marry to, or you cut and delete frames or clips and stuff, and you marry the clips back together. Stuff like that. So I kind of went over a couple things, and y'all told me what you do, so it was cool. It was not a waste whatsoever. I enjoyed it. But I think later on, and this is the last little bit on that, we'll move on. I think what I want to do with that is down the road, I want to revisit that to the point where maybe people that are a little more serious with editing, or if they just want to like hang out and BS or something like that, where it's not as, not that this is scripted. I don't have anything except for the topics. I didn't, not that advanced. I'd rather not do that anyway, because I don't want this to seem like it's more like extra work or anything like that. I want to make sure I hit points, and I want to advertise what points I plan on hitting, like as an itinerary, or as I state here, the instant action plan. But for the most part, like I don't need bullets, I don't need scripts, I don't need any of that stuff. So if y'all have any questions about anything, just drop it down. If the chat starts going kind of fast, or if more people start talking or whatever, and it's a question that I might miss, then just type in like Q, like a capital Q in front of everything, or tag me, or 3 Qs and tag me. I don't think I'll have a problem missing it. I'm definitely not that guy that's like, oh, someone says slow down the chat. I've been watching everything that's going on in the Middle East and watching these live streams, and the chat is just, it's crazy. So, but that's a whole different topic. And not today. Let's see, what else? All right, so that's a topic for another day in the future, as far as like something like I say grow the channel. All right, so now I guess we'll go into, boom, look at that. What do you want to do? Boom, episodes, look at that. 113 and 114. It's kind of crazy. There's that many episodes already. But episode 113 was obviously, I guess we'll start with that one, right? And I wish I had, I don't know how it'll play. As a matter of fact, I know it won't play. I don't have my headphones in, so I don't know how that will work on YouTube or whatever. But that was the episode I'd like to at least bring up. At the very least, I would like to bring up the video. I'm sure I won't be able to manage. Oh, there it is. All right, I can do this. That'll work. Close enough. All right, so this is the episode where I talked about, I was really excited about this one for a different reason. All my videos, for the most part, have been pretty positive, like extremely positive. I know I talked about my dog, my dog Macy that passed away, but for the most part, all these videos have been, me joking around, having a good time and everything, and the benefits, the joy, the excitement of riding motorcycles. Well, it's when it comes down to it. Oop, nice try, camera. Not shutting off on me. Getting good at that. Not during my interview podcast, but anyway, back to this. So I titled it, it's called episode 113, and it just writes on there, or shows on the thumbnail, don't blink. Oop, I gotta go over here with the cursor. Don't blink, and it's called Where the Road Almost Ended. So I mentioned a lot about riding a motorcycle, the benefits of it, Boom, focus. The benefits of riding, everybody gets something different out of it, multiple things out of it. I know I do. I can speak for myself. It's a form of therapy. It's a form of, I was writing in someone's comments the other day, and it's strange because, and this could be a whole discussion point here. I'm it's weird. I think they call it amnivert or something like that. So like introvert, extrovert, whatever. Someone's got to make money off the coin the phrase or whatever, make a new one. What's up, Restless Mule? What's up? So I enjoy, like, I have a good time around people. I enjoy this. I mentioned that already. I used to be real nervous about going live. Now it's a lot of fun, and I look forward to it. It's something I look forward to. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm in my own home, the comforts of my own home, the confinement of my own home. I'm in the man cave, so I really it's weird. So I live as excited as I am, as outgoing as I am. I'm all that when I'm out of the house, okay? And I made a video a long time ago. It was like, I'm not even going to go back and look because it is what it is. I should have had to pull it up. I should have been more prepared. But I was like talking about the difference between, introverted and extroverted. And I mentioned another video about why I think that a lot of introverts do YouTube is because it's a way to, I say like express yourself, but really like put yourself out there with nobody being there. Okay. And I don't mean like filming in public. I mean like in their own home, their office, their kitchen, their garage or whatever, motorcycle, whatever it is, they're in there. They're talking, they're throwing it out there. They hate their voice. I hate my voice. They hate their voice. They hate the way they look. They hate all this other stuff, but they throw it out there. And then they're kind of like peeking to see how it goes or whatever. They're dodging comments and stuff like that, So it's a way to throw yourself out there without actually being in the moment. And that's how I addressed it in one of the videos. The video before that, where I first brought it up, which is like 75 videos ago, or whatever number that was, I was discussing when I was leaving work that I am, extroverted. Like I won't say life of the party, but I like going out and having a good time, talking to people, all this other stuff. Especially after I get there and everybody says hi, and now I'm good. Now I'm in the mix of people instead of like saying hi to everybody walking around, sweating to death outside and coming in there and everybody trying to get a hug, and I'm like, I'm sweaty. Don't touch me. Once I'm in like 15 minutes, I'm good. But I will do everything. It doesn't matter. I will love those people. I love going out with people, whatever. Once I'm there. But like the thought of like if I was tomorrow to go to someone's, birthday party or something like that or whatever, going out doing this, I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm trying to find a way out of it, right? So it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me. So it's a difference between, hit the button. It's the difference between me like being introverted and extroverted. Right now, that's why I say I love this. So, damn, I just went on that whole tangent. What the hell was I talking about? Oh my gosh, that is wild. Spoke to now, you're right just in time. Everything, all the wheels are falling off. Motor Alley, this is perfect timing why I gather exactly what I was trying to say. Good Lord. Wow. Anyway, Motor Alley, look behind my big head. What's that back there? Yep, that's a metal print. I should have moved it over. It's in my helmet right now. So the worst place to put it. Damn, I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, so Lucky, I know you talked about it too. I got real loud. Sorry. I know you'd mentioned it before too, getting around people and stuff like that. Oh, golly, thanks. You helped me figure it out. But I was talking about like what motorcycle riding does to you. I knew it. It's gonna come back, man. If I get another 10 years older, it's over. It is over. I'm gonna go back to episode 1 and start talking about the same thing I talked about without realizing it. Don't go back that far. It was a terrible video. But I talk about like all the good things that motorcycle riding does for me, and I was mentioning that whole tangent was for this comment. You put your helmet on. You turn the key. If you got a key, I got to turn the key fob, whatever. You twist, you just turn the bike on, okay? And let's just baby steps here. And you get going. There could be, let's say 10, 15 cars around you, but you're like isolated in your helmet, or you're isolated on your ride. And I'm not saying you're not focused on anybody else. Excuse me. But it is a whole different experience, and one that can't be easily discussed, especially like we all get it. All of us that I've seen here, we all have motorcycles. We all love motorcycles. We all enjoy it. We all enjoy it so much that we want to share it with the world, share it on YouTube, whoever wants to be a part of it, in this community in general. And I always talk about the good things, and there has to be a point where we stop and kind of hit the reset button. That video came out it's 2 weeks ago now. It came out on not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. And I was in the live, I was mentioning that I was proud of the video. I was excited about it. I guess I could pull it up here. I was excited about it, and I was really enjoyed making the video because it was a bit darker in a way. It was basically my near misses that I've had, and a lot of them were like pedestrian. It wasn't a big deal. One I left out was I was traveling to Smith Mountain Lake, and I joked that it was in the remnants of Hurricane Harvey, and I just remember that just because it was a joke I told on the way to one of my buddy's bachelor party weekends, and I almost said bachelorette party. That'd have been weird. So 2025, anything can happen. Stay on task. Stay on task. Bring it in. Okay. So I had to drive to Smith Mountain Lake, and in doing so, there was, it was the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. So obviously it wasn't a hurricane, but all the destruction that Hurricane Harvey did. I said I rode a motorcycle through it, right? And a couple of my buddies were saying there's no way that he's riding his motorcycle. Sure enough, I mean, I'm talking like it was miserable, but it was like within the first second year I think I had the bike. And I was determined I was going to do it. It was going to be a long ride, and I was going to enjoy it. I had rags wrapped around my boots to keep the water from going into my socks. It was freezing cold. I stopped in some Dollar General and bought what was that? It was a sweatshirt from, I can't remember what it was. It was a burgundy sweatshirt or whatever. I had to wear it on one of these calls, or one of these I say calls like I'm at work, one of these lives. But it was oh man, I can't remember where it was, but it was out west, and it was like their local high school team and stuff like that. But it was cold, miserable, but it was fun. Had a smile on my face. But as I was coming down, it was a hilly area, and I was coming down, there was a dog in the road, and for some reason, I don't know why, inexperience, there's a car behind me, whatever, and I didn't talk about this in the video, but I never really like hit the brakes. I should just hit the brakes. Like I had plenty of time to see it, and I figured it was fine. But like if you have an animal coming at you, like it's gonna try to attack, like a little dog, whatever, yappy dog, happened when I was on the Ruckus. If they're coming at you, supposedly you're supposed to drive towards it, and then turn away, because if you just drive away from it, the animal will run towards you and whatever, have a chance to knock you off the bike, get hurt, or the bike hurt, or the dog hurt, or whatever, the ferret hurt, the guinea pig hurt, whatever it is. So supposedly you're supposed to drive towards it and then turn or whatever. I don't know if that's true anymore, but I thought that was kind of odd. I'd rather just drive fast and get away from it. But as it passed by a little too close, to the point where I'm glad the dog didn't move. It wasn't in my lane. It was a lane over, but still, I mean, that dog not a neighborhood, sorry. The house was right across the street, so it could have got scared and ran, whatever. But it was in the road, and I didn't really react very well at all. I mean, looking back, it was bad. I didn't discuss that. But I did discuss, we'll fast forward to the last part of it, and there's some comments about this too. Let me check the chat before I get into this last part of the video. Yeah, Moto Al, I got you. I got it there, dude. It's there. I still got to figure out what I want to do. I mentioned before, so Moto Alley sells metal prints. You can check his channel. He just had a live stream about it. Made some prints for the poker run fundraiser, yeah. And it's got a metal prints channel. I know you keep changing the name. It's like KM Prints, Kyle's Metal Prints. So I'm pretty sure you have links on your description on the other channels too. Or if you look on the interview that we did, the podcast Beyond the Shadows. See, I got it right that time. Episode 2, I threw in all your stuff in there too, but definitely awesome. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, that. Boom. Man, I'm gonna go get it. Where's the dog? So when you find out like I'm not wearing pants. No, I'm just kidding. All right, boom. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Nice glare. Is it? Yeah. So, little sheet metal. Boom. Perfect. So, what I was thinking, since we're on this topic right now, is either I want to have it, like, held up on a shelf, or maybe I mentioned to him, too, like, drill a hole right here and put, like, a valve stem and then put it on the wall. I don't know yet. Trial and error. Figure it out. It's like no scratches whatsoever on it. And then I drop it. Yeah. All right, what else we got here? Okay, yeah, going back to the introvert. So don't let me, you know what, I might do this. Don't let me forget I'm talking about like the worst near miss of my life and why that's important to talk about. Because I will forget. No, I should be good. Catch up with the chat real quick here. Randomly trees. Talking about, yeah, you're super introverted. Go through cycles, being pretty active on here. Oh, yeah, and then pulling away for a few months. You talk about on here, so you talk about randomly trees on YouTube. Yeah, and they say, like, consistency. Biggest thing is, man, do whatever you want. I tell you, man, I watch all those, like the how-to or whatever. I kind of lashed out a little bit on Instagram today. Instagram and I aren't friends. If you you don't have to follow me, but I mentioned something on Instagram about like kind of doing your own thing. Let's see, my Instagram, it's the firefighter instead of firefighter. But seriously, randomly tree is like, I get it, man. Like, honestly, one of my things is like, man, let's get deep. So I have like, so when you get like in a rut, okay, I get in a rut, and I know the only thing that's gonna get me out of a rut, for the most part, like I get real, like I get in a funk or get in a rut. It's a lot of it has to do with not exercising, not moving around, and my whole life it's been a battle. Like I joke that I have so many day ones, like day one at the gym, so many day ones, and like very few day 2s or 3s. And I make these. I'm bad at procrastinating. You know, like it's a joke and not a joke at the same time on the channel as far as like getting my bike right, and I even poke fun at myself again. Lucky aces, I'm like, I did 2 more steps, accomplishing 2 more steps, one for the house and one for the bike, not counting the tires that I got done about getting this trip right. But dog hair. I said that she didn't shed, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I do. But going to the gym is like the only thing that gets me out of this funk. And I've been like, I don't know, not getting into too much, like athletic, but like I don't, and I enjoy the gym when I go, but then I want to fight. I want to fight the gym like all the other times. So it's the same thing. I guess you can kind of equate it the same thing. Like, you know, the whole thing, I just had a long discussion about wanting to be home and all that other stuff. It's not a lazy thing, and I'm sure it is probably a lazy thing as far as exercise and diet and exercise, and diet's way harder, excuse me. Diet's 365. But I finally got to the point in my life, the last like 3 months or something like that, 2-3 months. A lot of my friends at work helped me out, kind of motivated me on this, but we're like I want to go, and I'm in a really, really good place. I know you said you're hurt and your hip, you just, you know, you got a hip injury and all that stuff, but that is like, and maybe one day I'll get into more, you know, it's not now, I'm not going to hit all this heavy stuff, but like everybody has something going on. Everybody, or they just got over something, or they're about to, something's going to happen, and that's life. And some people have it worse than others, and supporting cast or no supporting cast, and there's so many different factors and all that. So I won't get into it too much, but it has helped me out tremendously as far as like going like adamantly, like like by far the most I've ever gone, like easily. It's not even close. All right, moving on. Your second part. So you're yeah, randomly choose your same, yeah. Enjoy hanging out with people but dread it until the moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So same. Dude, I just skipped ahead to TC's no pants this week's finally the firefighter with the big hose reveal. Yeah, doing OnlyFans too. Yeah. No, never. Dude, all right, you want to go on a tangent? All right. No, we can't. I mean, it sounds terrible, right? If I say that and don't say it. I told my wife to do it a while ago. I said, look, I will play Call of Duty. You act like you're playing, and then you just talk. That's it. That's all you have to do. And that's not even the OF. I don't know if I can say it out loud, but that's like going on Twitch or something like that. It's ridiculous. We had a conversation before about like if I or any one of y'all were like on a motorcycle with gym attire. You could say nothing at all, nothing at all. Put a music there, put some like a sound effect, and y'all would be like 80 times more popular, me included. Oh man, you know things are bad if you see me in gym attire, a nice crop top. Yeah, just going to the gym, no big deal. Oh well. The Motor Alley. Not sure if I'm actually an introvert, but man, I prefer not having to socialize unless I'm actually, yeah, if you actually like the people, or unless you have to. And days after events, I need time to recharge with social battery. That's like a big deal. Like so like everybody knows like their limitation, and we don't always get to stay within that limitation. That's funny. Yeah, this does count as a social outing. Beating the quota. And Motor Alley, that's what's funny. Talk about talk about well, you mentioned to Lucky Ace. Oops, shoot. Talk about you like to text chat, text chatting. I could do that all day. So I'm older, so I could tell you this. This is how it used to be. You called your friends, and then people stopped calling their friends. Well, really, we just went over the house. Then you started calling your friends, and then you started texting your friends, or even you would leave a voicemail. Now people don't leave voicemails; they immediately just hang up the phone and then shoot a text, because people will let it like go to voicemail. And my wife hates voicemails, even to the point like I'm like, did you listen to my voicemail? Because clearly you know I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna joke around and have a good time. And she's like, no, I didn't listen to it. I said, what? How'd you not hear that? I'll send her a text, and she was like, well, I knew I was going to see you later. Why? What's up? And I'm like, read the text. Of course, it's nothing important. It's always something funny. Yeah, we did talk about that. About the last live. That's why I say all the shenanigans. I love it. I said, a man's got to eat. Times are tough. We had here I go off the rails. We had a guy one time in the fire station, and you talk about times are tough. And it was a long time ago. We were eating breakfast and minding our own business, which you don't ever want to mind your own business, because anybody that's been I think they say pew pew on the on YouTube, they've been pew pewed or whatever. They said the police asked him like, "What were you doing?" "Oh, I was minding my own business, and these people came around the corner and blah blah whatever." It's like money everywhere and drugs and all that stuff. But I guess I could say get shot if I can say drugs, but whatever. So the guy walks in. We're all eating breakfast at the fire station, and he starts having like a conversation with us, casual conversation. He's nice, cordial, no uniform or whatsoever. We don't know, like, I didn't know him, and you could see like people like one by one, kind of like everybody's kind of like looking around, seeing if this guy knew him, and then that guy was looking over here, and then the captain was looking at two people, and then it looked back at him, and then look at somebody else, you know, and stuff, and like no, like it was very clear and evident nobody knew this guy, right? And he was an older guy, and he goes and got quiet. We were laughing or whatever, that uncomfortable laugh, and he goes, times are tight, times are tight. Y'all got any gas money I can have? So we were all like, no, man. But it was wild. He just walked right into the fire station, hung out, went to the kitchen, hung out with a bunch of people eating breakfast, whatever. So it's pretty good. So you talk about times are tight. Absolutely, times are tight. Got to eat, man. Got to eat. Yeah, funks and ruts, man. In wintertime, winter months, and that's the other thing. And there's obviously there's studies about that being like people that work nights, like my wife. I don't understand how she does it, because especially the wintertime when it gets dark at 5 o'clock, 4:45 p.m. And it's like she goes to work. She leaves the house at 6 p.m. 1800 for you military time people. She'll leave the house and it's dark. She wakes up and it's dark. She goes home and it's just about dark or just about like sunrise or something like that. And all of a sudden, like she wakes up and it's dark again. Like she never sees the sun, and she'll work between 3, 4, and sometimes 5 night stretches, which she doesn't work too much anymore. But that has a toll if you don't see the damn sun. Yeah. Yeah. Don't recommend getting pew-pewed. That probably means something else too. Okay, yeah, DJ got new tires, man. If you haven't, I don't know if you've ever had new tires before. I tell you, I just went through that, and it was like night and day. Especially how bad mine were. So good deal. So Sunday, you're talking about ride on Sunday. Excited to ride on Sunday. Yeah, take advantage, especially if it's that far between. Yeah, yeah, the confidence to ask. Yeah, that's right. Jeez. Oh, so what do you got here? Okay, never mind. All right, so I'll let y'all keep going. But to finish the conversation about episode 113, I talked about how um, I was leaving a buddy's house and kind of fast forward a little bit because there's a video on it. I don't have to discuss the whole thing. But I thought it was important that this video, out of all the videos I've made, I think that people, especially aspiring new riders or aspiring riders that are getting back into it, or maybe people that haven't had maybe some adversity other than something simple like balance or like your foot slipping in loose gravel or something like that, forgetting a kickstand. That everybody says keep your head on swivel, stay vigilant, keep the shiny side up, all that other stuff, right? Everything that we tell everybody, rubber side, keep the rubber on the ground or whatever. There needed to be some sort of discussion about the alternative of, hey, having a safe ride, getting what you need to get out of it, whether it's running an errand, something tangible, or something not tangible, where it's just clearing your head. Like I said, I get goosebumps like that. I get old, man. I'm supposed to not have any feelings anymore. But all the good things that transpire from riding a motorcycle, and particularly your motorcycle, which everybody's going to be more fond of than any other motorcycle you see. It's funny. You'll see a motorcycle that, whether it's on your wish list, your dream bike, or just would be an upgrade. I say this word slowly. Statistically speaking, nice, nailed it. Certain words, certain words, my friends. But I won't say it again. But the S word speaking, that are an upgrade for your motorcycle. But you would rather have your motorcycle, right? I think we know where we're getting at. Nothing wrong with upgrades, nothing wrong with with that. But man, I'm telling you, I want to keep this bike. I told you, I either want to keep it forever. It's the first bike I ever have, or gift it away. One of those two things. I'm not selling it. That's what I'm not going to sell my bike. That's my plan. Or I'll sell it for $1, gifting like that. So I think people need to see this. So I had a discussion where, and one of the comments here we'll get into that, if you have seen the video or whatever. So coming towards me. So if I'm riding my motorcycle, and like I said, this is like circa 2018 or something. I bought it in 2017. I'm leaving my buddy's house, not a drop of alcohol, so I was like completely aware. There was no nothing. Not that you can't have a drink. I don't believe in that. Like, you can't have. Everybody knows. I mean, realistically, I think everybody here, like even the age group it shows, we're older, we're more mature, and I don't have a lot of 18 to whatever the range is, 18 to 25-year-olds. It's it's mature age. I'm leaving, and there's a car coming. There's 2 lanes of traffic. So, well, keep it your direction. So you're coming towards me, you're a vehicle, and I'm riding in my lane. There's 2 lanes altogether. I'm in my lane, which is that's backwards. I'm in my lane, and the other car's in the other lane. Well, basically, the gist of it, there's another vehicle. There's a truck behind the other vehicle that I saw. There's a vehicle behind me. The second vehicle in front of me that I didn't know until it comes over into my lane. It comes into my lane. It's still, you know, 100 yards away. You know, maybe a little further because it's a 50. I think it was about a 50 mile an hour speed limit. It's a highway, and we're going, and the truck never slows down. It never gets back over, and I let off the throttle. I go over to the very far right. I'm on the shoulder. The shoulder itself is essentially the painted line. It's like maybe a foot, and it's a drop off into a ditch into some wooded area. So I have nowhere to go. I let off the throttle. The truck never slows down. If anything, it actually speeds up to overtake the other car. Hopefully, I don't even know if that car slowed down to let him over, or what if he figured it, he saw everything. I have no idea. But to the point where I literally, so if I'm riding my handlebars like this and my mirrors are about like here, I could have reached over, like reached over and probably touched that mirror on that vehicle. It was that close, honest truth. And I think I really I mentioned in a video, or the live I did, I really wanted that video, not for YouTube's sake, not for statistically speaking. There, I get half credit the first time. Speaking of it, I didn't care about like the metrics of it. I didn't care about the view count. Well, I didn't care about what it would benefit the channel's view count. And a lot of my videos, like as far as impressions, everybody here makes videos, my impressions, and I could be an open book. Maybe that's a day we can just talk about that, because me and the algorithm, we don't get along and stuff like that. But I do YouTube wrong, all that, blah, blah, blah. But for like a week, it was stuck at like 400 and something impressions. And all my other videos, the impressions about basically how often that thumbnail gets seen, I'm sure y'all know, but I'm just speaking because there's a playback, is how often that thumbnail gets seen. Or I guess enough of me. This thumbnail here. So this is AI version of it. I mean, that's a truck right here. It should have been over a little bit more. I should have been over because I drifted all over to the right. But that's just the thumbnail that I got. And that's the one I want. I wanted this one to like catch wind a little bit, so people, for the benefit of others, is what I'm getting at. You know, yeah, I can benefit, of course. You know, any video benefits, but I'm talking about this is when I was really looking forward to this. And I even, like, I set it up where it was like, I got some YouTube clips, you know, kept everybody's name out of it, some accidents that had happened, just doing a quick Google search or YouTube search, excuse me. So that was my goal. It fell flat, fell short. You know, it is what it is. And, you know, maybe down the road or something, or I can, you know, link it one of my end screens and stuff like that, because it's actually a video that I really wanted people to see. And everybody here, we're talking about it now, and the previous live I probably discussed because it was about a sneak peek of that Sunday. But I wanted people to kind of, I guess, like a reminder, you know, one of those things. Like I said, we're all mature. We already know what we're doing. But at the same time, it's just like a reset real quick before a reset was given to somebody or you know, a loved one or something like that. So that's all. That was that episode. I'll pull up, let's go back to this. I'll look at the chat real quick because I want to bounce back and forth. I got to find a good way to do this, but and a break for this. Let's go. Oh man, no monsters all day. I had to go to 2 7-Elevens for this. Preposterous. There's like 3 or 4 more of me that buy all the monsters, the white monster. You're not turning on. I'm getting good at this. You're not turning off on me. Yeah, new tire. What I'm talking about, new tires make a world of difference. So that was the first time when I got those new tires. That was the first time I actually had new tires, other than the bike itself. Were pretty new, and I definitely was over. That's a whole different video. That video, my great debacle. There's so many things about that. That's a whole conversation there. But the most views I've ever had on a video was 7,500, 7,600 views. And the video where I talk about where I loaded my motorcycle on the U-Haul trailer. Let's see, where is it? Videos. Oh, this is what I wanted, this damn screen. This one right here. Yeah. So this video has got like 10K views, so I've never had I mean, like I said, 7,500 was the most I've ever had. That was when I was talking about Ryde. Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to pull up. It was here the whole time. Cursed to Ride Alone. I actually enjoyed it. But 7,500 views, yeah, 8 months ago, and then this one. So my most, this is well, it's funny to me. My most, I guess, popular video was a video where I was flying the drone overhead, and I realized I had a bald spot on top of my head. Dude, I was like, what? I zoomed in on it and everything, and I did some color. Oh, yeah, hold on. I did some color grading on it. There you go. I was talking to my truck. Probably spit talking and all that stuff. But that's my most popular video. It's got me in a bald spot. I left it in. I'm not shying away from that stuff now, dude. I'm an open book, baby. That's awesome. So if you ever see me wearing a hat, it has nothing to do with me hiding. I'm not hiding. SHIT. Nah, I'm actually trying to. I wear this. I got this hat. I don't even wear it. This is the hat that got ran over, which is another video. Surprise, surprise. Dang, dude. But that's why I say this is my riding hat. Because when you put on that helmet and you ride for a while, you end up with like 2 mohawks right there. People are going to be like, that dude's weird. You don't know the half of it. All right, let's go back. So if I'm ever wearing a hat, I'm not trying to cover up anything. It is what it is. I'm that guy that, like, for some reason, guys have it so much easier. But like if I have gray hair, man, I'm all about it. If I lose my hair, or as I'm losing my hair, I kind of like laugh about it, and I'll never be that guy that like hides it. I'm not gonna trump it. I'm not gonna trump haircut. Oh man, I'm catching up some. Oh, I read that wrong. Dang, lucky Ace. I was thinking that you said that you've been pew-pewed 0 out of 10 times. My bad. I read that wrong. Dang, dude. You got a wicked scar? A guy at work that was working on a buckshot, like a shell, and it exploded in his face. So I say you got shot in the face and survived. He's all right. Hopefully you are too. But that's that joke where you'd be a better meteorologist than the ones on TV, because you'll know when it's gonna storm out or something like that. Damn. That's a story to tell, I'm sure. Or not to tell. So Motor Alley, I'm catching up to you too. I'm catching like I said, I'm behind. But I know you went to your second poker run too. And it sounded like you got some footage on the last day. But at least discussion point about that, because that's definitely something. I mean, obviously, the metal prints, like I was discussing, the metal prints that you were doing for that, donating those metal prints, I'm sure that went well. Hopefully that went well. That was during your live stream. Yeah, and going back to that, the car, there was a car behind. Well, we can get into that comment. We can kind of bounce around a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to. I always say I don't want to take too much time. Then it's 10 o'clock. By the time I'm done. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So this is one of the comments. Same thing you're talking about there, Lucky. I think I mentioned it. I know I mentioned about the brake lights. You never want to be like directly behind another vehicle at a stoplight or a stop sign, because you're, and I mean behind, not just like physical distance, but I mean in the center of the vehicle, because that third brake light could be mistaken for your brake light. So depth perception might be off, and everybody in these cars are completely distracted. So Whisker 74, another Australian, he was talking about, he said one reason that Chuck might not have seen you until the last minute, if they even saw me, or it could have been some good old boys. I don't know what they were doing. I was kind of just, I don't know. I wasn't even in shock. It was just kind of like, damn, that's kind of wild. Depending on where you're sitting in a lane, your headlight could have looked like one of the car's headlights at a distance. And this is why I like getting into the comments. And this is like one of the four, because it's kind of ties into it. And I don't know if I said it in the video. I think I might have brought it up, but either way, this is the same thing. You can be mistaken for a headlight or tail light. You know, it just depends, especially at a glance. Like when they talk about these sports bikes that are driving down the road, and a car looks left and right at a stop, and then they look left, they see the motorcycle, they look right, it's clear, and the motorcycle was far down a ways. By the time they say they were clear, the motorcycle's down there, they look right, they're good, they go, and then the motorcycle's on top of them, and then that's what the motorcycle runs into the side of the car. Well, reason for that is it's hard to, especially at a glance, to your depth versus speed, your depth perception versus speed, it changes. So if that motorcycle is going fast or faster than the vehicle that stopped anticipated, therefore by the time they say, oh, I got plenty of time, it's, you know, one of those things. And that happens quite a bit. That's why on a motorcycle, like, just because you have the right of way, there's no such thing as a fender bender, right? Going back to it, so he mentions about what he does. So a little maybe word of advice here. He mentions that he's had it happen before when he's been driving in an unlit road, and basically what he does is when he sees the headlight, he kind of like moves a little bit within his lane to obviously to make sure that they could decipher that there's maybe, if there's a car behind him, that they see that maybe that third light or what was the right or left headlight move around a little bit, and then they see three headlights. So maybe then, especially like he says, where the road's not very lit. So he says he always moves around, trying to skip ahead and try to find out where it was. That he'll always move around in the lane where there's other cars around, so that you don't blend in with the background. Yeah. So works both ways. The other thing is, like, when you're behind, and you all know this, but once again to play back, I just talk out loud. You want to leave yourself a way out if you're behind a vehicle, where at least one way out, if not two. So where you can shoot right, left, and look in your mirrors. I tend to look in my mirror a lot of the times, coming to a stop, making sure that the car behind me is going to stop, and I don't have to like move around. It hasn't happened, but it's been pretty close once or twice where I was wondering. I think they saw me, they just didn't really care about slowing down until like the last second, I guess. But that was only one time. All right. Yeah, cagers, yeah. But that's cool though, that modality that you got to participate in it, and it changed not change your opinion, because we were talking about that during our Beyond the Shadow. I don't know. I guess it's just easier. The interview kind of sounds silly, so like the podcast. I'll just say podcast. The podcast that we did together, episode 2. But about how like there's such a stereotype with like the motorcycle, like the MCs, or any grouping of motorcycles. Everybody wants to call them a motorcycle gang, and the gangs typically would be associated with criminal activity. But there's a lot of charity work that goes on, and you got to participate on it too with second year. Okay, and TC says that he thinks that the trailer video might have been, okay, so the one I was talking about might have been the first one that popped up on your feed. Yeah, it has and my videos are not like that at all, but it has a click-through rate of 10%, which is like really high for me. It's like double or more than double in a lot of my videos. So that's kind of interesting. But like I said, that's like the one I found out, and that bald spot in my head. I was like, huh. It's probably from Monsters. All right, I got a person named R. I can respect that. Yeah, trailer videos, first video you saw. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, YouTube algorithms and all that stuff, like, it knows. It knows. Oh, and as far as finding the hat, dude, all that, and that's a real story, dude. That's a real story. This got ran over, as you can see. And Lucky, when I come to see you, dude, I'll be wearing this hat. I'll be wearing that hat. That'll be our interview. I'll be wearing that hat probably. Spoke. I just jumped down there. Oh no, Motor Alley's leaving. All right, buddy. Take care, man. Enjoy that heat. You were one that was talking about all that heat that you're getting. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I went back and got it. I was just lucky that it wasn't. I mean, it got ran over a couple times, but it's all right. It's still alive. I don't typically wear a hat, but that's my hat. Oh, he had to go to work. I laugh. My bad. My bad. I got tomorrow off too. Whoops. Nah, you good. You got a strange schedule too. All right. So I think I'm pretty much caught up. So that was one of the comments here about that episode. So we'll see. YouTube's funny where videos might pop up. Like I said, that it's not for my own personal gain. I'd like to say it was for other people's gain, or like a reminder and stuff like that. So I've already said it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, or plant the seed in a bad way. All right, let's see. Where are we going back? 114. Trying to think. That was last week. I might be a little tired here. What was last week's video? Oh, okay. I'm back. Let me pop this up. I don't need that. This right here. Boom, I'm back. So this video, episode 114, I was discussing about, I wish I could zoom in. I probably could. Can I? No. I'll figure it out later. But this video right here, I was discussing about taking the ride and regrets. And that's what I named this video. Not kind of. This is what I named, to give it a name. Right. Watch that. Bam. Beyond the Ride Regrets. Episode 6. Look at that. So prepared. I was discussing about there are people, everybody has regrets. And it's so easy to do, play Monday morning quarterback on anything that you do. And you will beat yourself up left and right over and over again. And the result won't change. You can protect yourself in the future by not making the same mistake, or use what you would deem mistakes today from yesterday, yesteryear, whatever. And if you encounter something like that again, you can learn from it and make a different decision. So there's nothing wrong with learning from that experience. But as far as regrets, I discuss. You can make it. You can fill in the blank what you want to do. But that particular video, last week's video, episode 114, was talking about those that thought about riding a motorcycle and seasons, years, decades had passed to the point where they look back and God willing, if you live to your 80s and 90s, you're always going to think like, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. That's the thing. You can't beat yourself up, okay? Because everybody would rather have done something different, but you are not where you are today if you didn't make decisions. And it could be good or bad, like I said. But you never have to be, I don't want to go too far down this hole. You never have to be, if you're in a bad spot right now, you don't have to stay there. There's ways that you can start like piecing things together, inching your way back to where you want to be. Okay, could take time. It's called delayed gratification. I mentioned I got a video I just shot. I shot like 4 videos in the last couple of days, but I talk about a little bit about delayed gratification, retirement, all kinds of stuff. But there's ways you just you got to fight, right? You got to fight. So this conversation was more about motorcycles. I mean, you could fill in the blank, like I said, but I am glad that myself, everybody watching this, pretty much that I've talked in the chat right now, or have Rascal. What's up, man? I see you, man. I know you just went live too. I'm gonna check that out. I'll probably have to watch it playback. Playing Helldivers, dude. So I'm getting at last week's episode. I'm at the second up that I was talking about. But it was the not having the regret or living with the regret of riding. And I mentioned too, and it wasn't a long video. It's one of my shorter ones. I'm looking at right now, 8 minutes and 49 seconds, counting the end screen and everything, and the intro. You have to. There's risk involved, like I just mentioned the previous episode, right? There's risk involved. There's conversations that you have to have with family. Friends are going to put in their 2 cents. Family's going to put in their 2 cents. It's obviously because they care about you. There's some ignorance to it, and people misconstrued ignorance, the word ignorance, and they automatically get offended. It's just not knowing. Literally look up the definition. It's just, it's if you can be ignorant on a topic. I'm ignorant about a lot of things, okay? No, you can be ignorant about a topic, and it's okay. You just don't know about it, or you're not educated about it. But people hear that and they get so defensive. So people hear the worst about motorcycles. If you don't ride one, if you don't have a family member that rides one, or a friend that rides one, and actually ask them how they feel about riding, then you only thing you'll hear is the news about, you know, a wreck involving a motorcyclist that's in, you know, it's life-threatening injuries. It's been a crazy week. We just had, over the last week that I was working, there was, not last shift, but the shift before, so Saturday weekend, there was 2 accidents, and one was a fatality in my city. It can happen any ride. We all know this. We all know this every time we turn the key or key fob, hit the switch. But we know that. And I don't say we take the chance, because yes, there's a risk and yes, there's a chance, but we choose to do it because it does something for us. We get something out of it. We live because we ride, or we ride to live, or whatever, however you want to say it. I'm not saying it has to take up your whole life. It literally can be a weekend thing. You know, you work Monday through Friday, and then for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever on a Saturday or Sunday morning, Sunday evening, you get to ride your motorcycle. So, okay, have fun with it. Nobody says, you know, there's a joke about, you know, people, garage trophies and all that stuff, and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with having a motorcycle, washing it every weekend, starting it up, and then putting it back in the garage. I don't agree with it, but I don't have to agree with it. That's like buying a horse and never riding it. Okay, that's their choice. But once again, if you're going to ask me my opinion, I think it'd be a waste. But what does that do to that person? Maybe that person is actually scared to ride. So, but they bought the bike. So this video was just a quick, it's more of a joke about my turn signal. It turned out to be, because I left my damn turn signal on from the gas station on the way home. But and the cop behind me, I'm a mess, right? But it's basically about like trying to really push away from having that regret. Like I said, a quick video, not much to it, but that was kind of the gist of it. All right, and then I got some comments on that too. So let's see, that was 113, that was 114 conversation, comments. So let's go, I want to say that one for last. Should have. All right, I got one from Jen. I got Moto Alley, he left. I should have read his comment before, I forgot. All right. So this was about, I guess are they all? Okay. This was about the other video too. I read Whiskers. Jen's is, because I did write one of my quotes. I might just start writing down all my quotes. None of them are good. And this was a quote from that video. Don't quote me on anything that actually might be right. And she said that might be the best quote. It probably is. Let's see. Yeah, I had to dip in a neighborhood too. My inspection. Don't worry about it. So we mentioned about here, and then this is kind of just to hit on it real quick. The reason why I got this, I'm not going to read my reply or to any of these really, but okay. So I was talking about a little bit about like the butterfly effect, and it was about like taking your time, because this is about near misses and stuff. So if you run behind, everybody's done it. They run behind, or they're trying to beat a light, or they're trying to do everything like that. You know, well, on a motorcycle, like I said, there's no fender benders, right? So she mentioned, we're just talking about butterfly effect, and I was like, you know, if you miss a light, so be it. I tucked in a neighborhood, and essentially, like, That sounds terrible. I'll say it. I ducked in a neighborhood so the cop wouldn't pull up beside me and see my inspection sticker. I know. Moving on. So I mentioned that now I am 60 seconds to 120 seconds, whatever, away from where I would have been. So let's say I would have been a light ahead of myself, and then somebody runs a red light. I'm not there because I ducked in a neighborhood. Somebody runs a red light and would have hit me. So life is as fragile as that. And I just talked about butterfly effect. So she mentioned talk about. Let's see. As for timing, I've been there many times where I made a decision to do something not scheduled and find myself coming up on an accident later. And basically she's saying that if I left on time or not cause a delay, it would have been me, or possibly could have been her. And that's how I was going to get on. I was like, take your time. You get caught by red light, caught by yellow light, you slow down versus like speeding through it. If you can safely slow down. All these things, like I said, and once again, going back to, I didn't have it pulled up. I'm sorry. All these things saying about this video, just kind of a reminder, like if you get caught by that red light, yeah, it sucks. It's hot. Okay. But at the same time, maybe it's optimistic, glass half full. Just look at it that way. Right. They might put you 60 seconds behind. It's just that's just life. Right. One of those things. And somebody would argue leave 5 minutes sooner. I'm not going to say that. It just, is what it is. So, that was just kind of a reminder. And in modality, last comment about this video, he mentioned about having too many close calls over the years makes him wonder sometimes why he still gets on a bike to ride. I think we've discussed that pretty good. That it's risk management. We decide to ride because of what it does for us. We don't ride just because some of us might. We're not riding because we're daredevils and we're trying to cheat the final destination, like the movies. There was an event that happened this past Friday. He says where thousands of bikers ride to, and during the day I saw police reporting at least 6 motorcycle accidents, none fatal, but with every crash it's possible. So like we were discussing, they always say to be a confident rider, but man, I've seen it so many times firsthand where someone being confident, trying to act cool, and made them look stupid and almost losing control. So that's like the peer pressure thing, and ride your own ride. If you're in group rides, once again, if you're in group rides and people going crazy, that's the thing, because people want to show off, peer pressure, they want to keep up. I've seen where they have the inexperienced riders. Some people choose this. I've heard this, I should say, where they'll have the inexperienced riders at the front and not necessarily leading, but at the front to make sure that they don't fall behind. And not that they fall behind, but they may think that they need to speed up to get to the group, and now they're riding where they're not comfortable. Okay, whether it's a new bike, new tires. Okay, discussing new tires, for example, wearing those tires in. I was so glad I was gonna say something about. I got all the tire markings off where they had the blue line and the red line on my tire, on my tread. All that's worn off completely, minus I think in the grooves or something. So definitely I put some miles on it, which is nice. Nothing like what y'all been doing. Y'all are wild. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and TC, I mean, that's exactly it. You may make some bad decisions or done stuff in the past, but it all led you to where you are now. Yep. And I mean, I'm just a strong advocate. I'm not gonna preach on this, with the exception of what I want to say. You are where you are. There's nothing you can do to change that right now. But tomorrow, if you want to change where you are today, whether it's eating right, it's going to the gym, being a better rider, actually riding a motorcycle, all the other above, better friend, family, all that other stuff. All right, so let's go. Is that all caught up? Yeah, Rascal, you need to ride that horse. You just need to fix it, dude. That I'm telling you. And that motorcycle means more, and it will mean. I mean, anybody that builds a motorcycle or repairs a motorcycle or refurbishes whatever, depending on the degree and stuff like that. And I know I've watched your videos before, obviously, and you just talk about even if it's just you starting it up and it cranks over, like the feeling of an accomplishment of putting something that's been, that motorcycle is has been left to a box in a garage, somewhere. Now it's in your shed, and if it takes X amount of time, then so be it. It means it's not just a motorcycle to you or anybody else that would be in your shoes. So, have at it, man. Have at it, bud. But I'm looking forward to it. If you do make the videos, I'll know that again, I definitely will be a part of that. And also, I mentioned like 3 weeks ago, I think it was I finally got I deleted the app. I reinstalled the app. And for some reason, I couldn't get notifications. So like when you've gone live in the past, I've hit a couple of them. But anybody's videos that come up, I'm actually able to see the video pop up now and watch it, typically within a day, that day or roughly or whatever. So it's nice that I'm actually seeing stuff. Restless Mule, he had a video that I typically watch his video, like day one. Like it's definitely on my to-do list. We go back YouTube wise, we go way back. So I saw one, it was like 5 days old, and I was like, what? Didn't even pop up on my feed, but I got it. Now I'm good. I'm good to go. Especially catching like when y'all do go live, because I'd like to jump in y'all's lives too. That sounds weird. You know what I mean? Live streams. So TC brings up, you're talking about there's a lot of motorcycle fatalities here, and people always bring up how dangerous they are. Absolutely. And that's why I say like there's a terrible stereotype, and the sad thing in my head, whether I say it or not, I ask, and this is going back to Motor Alley's conversation, his comment. I ask about, I'm either thinking of it or ask, was it a cruiser or a sports bike? I know there's other bikes in between, but I was just saying like, or I would say, was it a sports bike? What was it? You hear a lot of accidents on the interstate. Well, watch these videos where these people, and that's what they want to do. They want to ride, 100 plus mile triple digits. They want to ride triple digits. They want to go and they want to weave in and out of lanes, in between cars, around turns, on ramp, off ramp, whatever. And you got to realize, like, man, look, next time you're at a stoplight, just look left. I'm looking left. I'm probably looking right over there, but look left, look right. Look at the people driving, man, and you're like zooming past, and you're putting trust. It's not Need for Speed video game. You're putting trust that this car is not going to move. It's going to stay in its lane. I drive a fire truck. I drive an ambulance. All right. I drive a big F-750 pulling a trailer, right? At work. We have lights and sirens, and people are still like so unpredictable, right? You talk about moving over in the lane, right? Originally, you're supposed to move over to the right. Now I think they changed the law where you can just move over to the whatever lane is closest, but the furthest lane to give us the opening. But man, I'm telling you, they just stop. They'll stop. One will stop here. All right, if you're looking at blimp drone, I got my drone up. One will stop here. My microphone is me. One will stop here, and then the other one will stop over here. And it's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all would be better off just to go. So now I have to wait till one of them move, and man, it's so crazy. So I have this big old truck, right? It's stated 25 tons, 50,000 pounds. Stated that it's not, but 25 ton truck with red lights everywhere. White lights, red lights, LED lights, big red truck. Then they add a Q. Then they add an air horn. And they still don't see us, or they still don't hear us. So you guys are taking it into your hands, and it's wild. Oh man. Anyway, but that's their ride. You're not gonna get me, I'm telling you. Back, baby. I'm back. All right. Oh no, Russ's Mule. I'm not boycotting you, dude. You're stuck. You're stuck with me to the end of YouTube. Okay, so TC's talking about back home. He said, but when you look at the data, most of them are stolen bikes, unregistered, unlicensed riders, or they're trying to run from police. Exactly. I actually asked a cop one time, I said, what do y'all do? I mean, because you see it on Instagram or whatever, YouTube, and they run from the cops. And I said, what do you do when a sports bike, what do you do when they fly away or whatever? And obviously you're chasing them. Like, what's like, they have a neighboring city. There's a no pursuit law. We have a pursuit law, or not. We don't have a pursuit law. They I guess probably due regard is the way they put it, but they mention in a neighboring city, unless they're drunk or appear to be drunk, they don't chase them because there's more. They get the license plate, or they'll try to get license plate, one of those deals. But as we know, sports bikes, what do? License plate, and they tuck it so you can't see it. Man, this is like, well, I guess my hand doesn't go that way, but anyway, they tuck it underneath so they don't see it, and then they get pulled over like, oh, I didn't know, I forgot. I was just at a meet. I didn't want anybody to get my license plate. Well, the cop I asked, he goes, well, honestly, we just try to keep up with the taillights because they'll usually wreck. We'll catch them. I was like, all right, yeah. So that kind of gets you right. See, R, dude, I like that name. What's up? They just need more Q. I'm not sure what that means. Hit me up, R. What is that? They need more Q? Might be obvious. I don't get it. All right, where are we at? Oh, one more comment. This is a cool one. This is what, honestly, like I said, I enjoy the comments. Once the video is posted, that's like obviously my favorite thing to do. I don't care watching numbers, and they do what they do. For having all the videos I have and the amount of time I put in, if I just worked another job and the hours I put in, all you all know this, I'm sure, with the videos that y'all make, I could have made whatever, a lot of money the other way, right? So I do this as a hobby and as potentially as a side hustle or something down the road. Pun intended, no pun intended, whatever it is. My retirement. No, not retirement. Supplemental retirement down the road. That'd be cool. But this video, this is, like I said last stream, was I mentioned I rode from Virginia Beach town center to the beach, to the Atlantic Ocean, right? Virginia Beach. And the person, I never talked to this person, but she mentioned that my video, and she lives in Texas, she said that the video inspired her words, inspired her to take a trip to the beach. I guess it was a beach nearby what she had or something like that. And I was like, man, that's like the coolest thing. That's the coolest thing. I mean, there's comments which are, that's badass. Y'all take the time out of your day. Those that are here right now, those that might watch the playback, is what it is. That's never going to get old. I'm never going to get used to that. Ever. The fact that it's 9:35 on a Wednesday night here, local time. I streamed a little after 8. My bad. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I've talked about it before. But that's almost at a loss for words. I don't think I'll ever be at a loss for words. But it was awesome to hear that. Then this person, who apparently left a couple comments in some other videos, and I will actually do what I'm supposed to do. Put it over here. So Bonsai Moto. And at the time, I guess it was 3 days ago. Yeah, because this is the last video. So this is what I was talking about, like the no regrets, the tattoo, right? He said, he writes, thank you. I was feeling lazy on a Sunday morning and debating on whether to go for a ride today or not. You inspired me to take it. Now I'm this is awesome. Now I'm sitting here taking a break while looking at a really sweet waterfall in Ohio. Well, Pennsylvania, I should say. And enjoy nature after a nice ride on the mountain roads. First of all, that's awesome. Okay. I keep talking about these damn mountains. One of these days I'll see them on the bike. I saw them plenty driving to see my grandparents in West Virginia. And I guess that's Pile. Is that how you say it? Ohio Pile? I don't know. I meant to look that up too. And then he writes that he still has to ride home and basically enjoy the Sunday, and thanks again for the great vids. Okay. So that's 2 live streams in a row I bring that up. And I don't bring that up to you, anybody watching the playback. Where's my button? I don't bring that up to brag. I don't have an ego like that whatsoever. Those comments, and I never have to get another one again. And that solidifies why I'm doing this. Okay. And it's so awesome to see. It's not because my video did that. It's the factor that person got up and rode. Yes, they say my video and all that other stuff, but it could have been anybody's video. Okay, but it's just cool that we have that. We're making these damn videos on YouTube talking to people in Australia, talking to people, in Texas, talking to people in Carolina, talking to people in South Dakota. I'm pretty sure South Dakota. Talking to people in Canada, talking to people in Sweden, talking to people all over, right? And we're riding. We're just riding motorcycles. That's what the community is like. Got us. It's man. We're all walks of life. We're all different backgrounds. We're all different. We grew up from different places. Introvert, extrovert, ambivert, as they say. And we're here, man. It's so awesome. So I can't say good enough. Oh, they just need more Q, the federal Q. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I love that. And now they have an electric one from a lot of these. My engine and my old engine, that got replaced with the new engine, but shoot, that one's getting kind of old now too. What is that, like 7 or 8 years old now? It has a real Q, a real federal, which is nice, man. Basically, if anybody, it spins, basically electrical, as in it spins electrical, but it's not like a sound, a fake noise. And it spins and it's basically a musical instrument, but that's where you hit the. I won't do it. That's it. I did it. I said I wasn't gonna do it. I did it. Is there any alcohol in these things? What's it? I still hadn't had the one with damn alcohol. I forgot about that. Just until right now. All right, moving on. Yeah, I got you, R. Man, that's a cool name. It's like Zorro almost, or Prince. One letter, one name. Yeah, actually, so Rascal talking about that loves the lives better than he does the videos. Just the videos somehow means more and more personal. Absolutely, I've always looked for, as you can tell with this channel, I had the videos. I used to do shorts. Like I don't really care for them because I don't want. There's nothing wrong with shorts, but it does change your channel. I want people to. I want the right, I guess you could say, audience, but I want the right people here. And not like the what do you call it, retention based editing or goldfish, whatever. I don't know, they name them a whole bunch of different names, but the people I have here, the people like, I mean, y'all are proving it right now being a part of the live. I want people like y'all are freaking awesome. I almost said the bad, like the worst F word. Y'all are awesome for real. So doing the podcast, right, Beyond the Shadow, so far with Restless Mule and Moto Alley, getting to know people, getting their story told on a different avenue, different way, different avenue, different platform. I think, man, it's awesome. And then the lives, comment section, everything like that. Going to watch y'all's videos, commenting y'all's, exchanging emails back and forth, exchanging text back and forth. So definitely awesome. Yeah, it's definitely the lives. I really like them, and I think every Wednesday, which is every 3 weeks, I think that's like perfect timing. Plenty to talk about without and including the comment section, because I mean, this is a lot of fun for me. It's way more fun having y'all involved because like I said, I've done live before, and it's night and day. TC out, yeah, man. All right, TC, have a good one. Be safe. North Dakota. Oh, man. You're even colder. I was thinking South Dakota for some reason. I got it now. Nailed it. North Dakota. One name. Who are you, Seal? Oh, man. That's awesome. I Am McLovin. That's right. Dude, that movie, that is like that's one of my favorite movies. Shaun of the Dead. Super Bad. That might be it. Office Space. Boom. Shaun of the Dead. Super Bad, Office Space. 3 best movies ever. Okay, so Bonsai Moto. Yep, that was really cool. Those comments I mentioned before that kind of give me like fuel in my tank, right, so to speak. I think that was all the comments. All right, so the next are pretty quick. I'll shoot these out real quick. 4 comments. Boom, maintenance videos. All right, so here's the kind of thing I was thinking about. And Lucky, if you're still here, he mentioned something about, I think it was a community post, and he mentioned something about, do people enjoy his maintenance videos, something along the lines of that. And he's always mentioned as I want to say the Boom Raider. It's a Boom Vader. So the Chinese clone, like the Grom clone, which people might say that's maybe like in a negative light, but man, that thing's awesome. He's talking about a clone, like it's worse off. I know it's Chinese, not Japanese, but that's awesome. I'm a fan that you got it. And obviously watch those videos. Even though I never have one, I probably never have one. It was funny. Bodo Allen and I were talking. I think it was last live or something. And the I want to say motorcycle, the bike I had before. How about the moped? The moped I had before was a Honda Ruckus, and the story on that. And I plan on actually doing kind of maybe a mini series about my bike and kind of going in more detail, maybe like 4 or 5 episodes. I was toying with that idea. But like how I got to the Shadow, I have a video on it. Surprise! Like I have a video on like everything, but I think it would be cool down the road if I did get the Ruckus back. I brought it back, especially if I got the same year. I'm of course to be used and beat up, not obviously not the same one, and got to those Ruckus, they lower them and stretch them, and then obviously change everything in between, make them go fast. So that'll be the one that takes me out. Man, they're so low to the ground. But going back to maintenance videos, I have a few things that I have to do, and there's a few cosmetics that I want to do. And the cosmetic thing, not really in this discussion, but I have plans and maybe aspirations is probably the more technical word I should be using, because plans sound more like there's concrete. And well, let's say I have plans, but aspirations of facilitating my plans. How about that? That might be, some people might beg to differ, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Those plans are going to be for like as we cool down, more like garage conversations or something. Garage shop. I was going to have like a shop talk. I mentioned that in a video. I think it was like the first video of the year, this year, but like shop talk or whatever. But my idea for, excuse me, oh, I gotta burp off camera. My idea for maintenance videos, and I'm kind of wondering if I should do it, and I'm asking y'all too. I am not, and just like Lucky Aces, mentions he's not a mechanic. Oh, he's here too. Cool. So you mentioned like you're not a mechanic, and you're having fun, and I think that you do an excellent job. And I mentioned it before when you actually got the Boom Vader out of the packaging at your work, with your boss's approval, of course, that you did a really good job filming and basically talking points. And you mentioned how it takes longer to perform any maintenance or any modification or switch out or whatever, because you have to film, and we all know that. And just setting up, like I said, drone shots and lav mics and all that stuff take longer, and footage and 360 and GoPro and editing and all that other stuff. So obviously it takes longer, but you do an excellent job with showing what you need to work on. I have a couple things that I want to do, and I can do it in video form. I can do it in lives, just do a live in the garage. Just kind of like hang out with y'all while I do some stuff. It's nothing crazy. It's just kind of like it's very casual, right? I'm wondering like how I'm going to do that. I don't have anything on here. When I've changed the oil in the past, I haven't filmed it. But obviously multiple oil changes at this point, but I haven't filmed it. I have done it before they had the channel, while I've had the channel, and I'm wondering if that could be part of something, if that's something people are interested in, and like I said, it's not like how to. It's just, hey, I'm gonna go through it. We're gonna talk about some stuff or whatever. That's probably more my style anyway. And I'll go over some stuff, obviously what to look for, what I look for, how I do things, what I've read, and all that. So I'm kind of at that point, just as a heads up. Let's see. Lucky Ace is right, and that stupid heart is in the way. Oh, I can actually move that a little bit. The maintenance and how-to video, as I move away from that stupid heart. Yeah, I can never tell if I do a good job or not, because as I move it, most of the time it's my first time doing the work. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. So I'm going to have zero pressure on this. And man, if I was rich, I would buy a Honda Shadow, like my exact bike, and then just like dissect it. That's why I think, when people talk about having two bikes, a lot of people think a lot of people have two bikes because they do two completely, most of the time, they do two completely different things for them. Whether it's a touring bike and a fun bike or whatever, sports bike, an off-road, dual sport, dirt bike, whatever. A ride for the bride, one of those deals. Is that a thing? That actually was pretty slick. That's a quote. Quote me on that. A ride for the bride. I would like to have a bike. This is dissect. I mentioned before in a video that we went to a call, and we were hanging up it's a residential Knox box. Actually, it was the beach video I was talking about with the lady took a ride when she read that comment, nice comment about going to the beach in Texas. But a Knox box is like Fort Knox, right? KNOX. A Knox box, essentially, we have a key to the city on the fire truck, and we type in a code, unlocks that key. We grab that key, we go in the business, open the Knox box, their key or key fob or whatever, swipe card comes out, and then we can get in without having to break the door after hours or anything like that. They also make them for residential. So you can sign up to get a residential Knox box. It goes on your door, just on the top of the door. And then you put your spare key in there, and we can get in there. Elderly, handicap, whatever, one of those deals. So we went there, and I've discussed this in a video, but the guy we were installing the Knox box, residential Knox box, and he wasn't in great shape, and he had, I can't tell you, like maybe a Road King or something, but it was covered up, and just all you could see is like the fender, and he knew it was Harley, and they even had a Harley like motorcycle cover over it. And I remember thinking, I was like, don't do it. And I was daydreaming about like coming back the next day off duty, and then just talking to him about like it would be cool to, maybe like if obviously he wasn't riding, assuming it was his, and offer to buy it and take it home and work on it, whenever I could, and one of those deals. And I never did because he wasn't in good shape, and I didn't ever want to feel like taking advantage of anybody. I definitely did not want to do that, and I never did. I say that also, and my wife would say no. The fact that I have a motorcycle, I'm pretty happy about that. Don't push my luck. I had a almost forgot the year, 2021 Dodge Challenger Scatback wide body. That was awesome too. I had that for like 3 years, just before the warranty rode off in the sunset. Man, that was stressful. I loved it. It was fun. Favorite car, Challenger. I always make comment when I see it. Still the best car, but I love my truck. I'm so much happier. Sounds weird. So much happier. I got nervous. That's the other thing. Having a $30,000 motorcycle, bagger or something like that, dude, I'd be worried about every rock, chip, everything comes up. Anything comes up me, I'm good, man. So, let's see. Is that it? Maintenance video. Sneak peek to Sunday. So this is the only other thing. Yeah. Sneak peek for Sunday. So I actually just finished this video today, and let's see. I have to write the description, make a thumbnail. Man, I used to like doing thumbnails. I'm not really a fan anymore for some reason. I think they stress me out a little bit because you can work on a video, and then the thumbnail and title is all that matters. But let's see if I have it. It's actually, can I show the opening? Can I show this? I don't know if y'all probably won't hear it. I think it was a really cool opening. Is this it? This is it. Play. I'm gonna put it on. So I've been tinkering. Let me pull you guys back up. I've been tinkering with. I almost hit stop streaming. Yeah, what's up, Paul? Yeah. Dude, we've been in it. I'm at the last. Let me show you. We went over this already. Or we're in the sneak peek portion of it, whatever. One of those things. And Paul's Motor's in. Check his channel out. I've got a video. I already talked to him about it. I haven't filmed it yet. I know exactly where I want to be when I film this. But it was based on I remember the dates. It was you You rode on June the 7th, and you uploaded on June the 10th. That's the video. So I'm gonna give you a shout out when I want to discuss something about that video. It was really cool. Great scenery, awesome ride. I brag about you for a little bit. So Paul's Moto's in. Him and South Oz Moto. First of all, this is not the bragging part. I feel bad because I get y'all, not you mixed up, but I get your name mixed up. So like, it's Paul's Moto Zen, but then I might say it Paul's in Moto, and I'm like, dang, that ain't it. So I'm dyslexic with that. Just like South Oz Moto, I called him South Moto Oz in a video, which I might actually not edit. So that might go away. But I gotta get you right, man. Paul's Moto Zen. Anyway, I was talking about him. Lucky Aces does a couple of these videos where you guys just have hey, you have a trip. You don't talk. It's nearly impossible for me to do it. I had to unplug my mic. That's the only way I'm gonna not talk. But a little bit of maybe a little bit of dialogue in the beginning, a little bit of like added text involved or whatever. But you guys just ride. I get the scenery and all this other stuff. So I'll be editing on this computer, right, or the monitor over here. And then Paul, I got your video played over here. And it was funny because that video that I'm talking in particular about, once again, this is I'm editing on my Premiere Pro here, and your video is like right here, right underneath the camera, and I'm like this. I'm looking here and I'm going. So it's pretty funny, man. But I'm definitely gonna. I got a couple discussion points on that video, and I haven't done it yet because I have to shoot it at a certain time, at a certain place that I already have in mind. And evening ride. I couldn't do it yesterday. Couldn't do it today, and I can't do it tomorrow. So those are my 3 days off. So it'll have to be another episode, future upload. But I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna allude. If I can put the link in there, I'll put the link in there too in the description. But I'll definitely have your name and exactly the title and the upload date. So it was really cool. So I like that. I enjoy when people do that. And even to have y'all's video, just the rumble of the motorcycle going, that's like white noise to me, I guess. Keep them coming. But that's cool, man. All right, so then the sneak peek. Okay, so this Sunday's video, today's Wednesday, in case you guys are wondering, and actually Australia, I guess we were already at Thursday, but Sunday at midnight, my time, local time, Eastern Standard Time, in the United States, on Virginia. This video is about, I hadn't rode the motorcycle it happens throughout the year. I ride year round, not comfortably, but I ride year round. Restless Mule, I've got winter gloves. I'm ready for it. Cheap winter gloves. I might add some Amazon. It's like I was so indecisive of which ones to get. I was looking at heated gloves and everything, and then they kept saying they're not good enough. They're overly expensive. They are good. They're not good. And I was just like, well, you know what? Let me buy a pair of like $30 or $40 gloves. So we'll see. So far using them, they were just fine from what I used them for in the beginning. Let's see, it was late getting into sunset, and I can't see because that stupid heart's in the way. Okay, you named it Dusk. You were late getting to sunset, and you named the video Dusk. Yeah, that's it. Yep. So definitely check that out. Check out Paul's Motors In. Nailed it, but I was also reading it. So Paul's Motors In. All right, alphabetical. No, it's not alphabetical order. The M and the Z is. I'll memorize it. I got a weird way of memorizing things. Eventually. Paul's Moto's in. South Oz Moto. All right, I got it. And then some of y'all know first name, so I'm like, okay. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure your first name is Paul, so that'll be easy for me to remember. But this video, like throughout the year, there'll be a week, 2 weeks, sometimes even 3. And that's like that's it. That's the worst. And we got snow this earlier this year. So definitely get a chance to ride it. But even with all the snow we got, which was not very seasonal or not typically what we get, I was still able to ride within a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'd made a couple of videos where there was snow on the side of the road. Roads were clear, super clear. There was no issue with that. No black ice, no chance of any moisture or anything like that. But there was snow on the side of the road. Not saying how tough I am, but I try to ride year round, and because I enjoy it. Okay, even as uncomfortable as I can be, I enjoy it. So this video talks about like when you stop riding for a few days, you don't, or you get to ride. Like I said earlier in the live, you talk about you got to wait for the weekend to ride or something or whatever because of work and family and all the other things that pop up and take priority precedence over riding. Some of you are like, how is that even possible? You can take the kids to school on a motorcycle. It may be true. The spouse might not care for that, but the kids would think it would be pretty cool, right? So when you get back on the bike, it's like riding a bike, and that's kind of that's exactly my title within the title. I don't have a title for it, but in the video's title, my personal title is like, it's literally saying like riding a bike. And I'm gonna play the very beginning. I don't know if there'll be any audio, but it was pretty neat. Just finding new ways to throw in like the logo without taking away from the video itself, and put it in there in the time as well. And I don't really think, I'm pretty sure that the volume won't play. It might. I'll mute me. Just the very, very beginning. So let's see if I can do this. Am I going to be there? Let me see if I can minimize. Am I going to leave? Well, good morning. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Love to have you here. Love to have you back. Today, another beautiful sunrise that's about to form, and today I want to talk about what is... Did it work? Did it work? Could you all hear it? It looked like the audio was working. Just like a yes or no. Did the audio play from the desktop? It should have worked. I can't hear anything because the mic's plugged in, and that audio is for some reason wanting to play through the mic, which it doesn't. I can watch the playback, but if y'all heard anything from that video, just type in yes. If you didn't, type no. But I go into, as most of y'all know, whether it's heat related, it wasn't heat for me, but we got a lot of rain, a lot of days where I was working and potentially have to swing to other stations. I don't have the saddlebags on there right now, which I like the way it looks. Probably better without the saddlebags. The functionality, see, maybe lower the music a little more, which is more clear. Yeah. Yeah, so originally there was no... I'll have to look at it. Oh, my bad. Headphone on. It didn't look like it was peak. I'll have to look at the playback because I can lower it down. My bad. It didn't look like it was peaking. It was in the yellow. I'll have to look at it again. Heated seats and grips required. Yeah, North Dakota. Nailed it. Got it. Oh, nice try. Nice try, camera. That'll be the last time you get me. But yeah, just to finish that epic fail, as all the cool kids say. Epic fail. I hate the word epic. There's a couple words I hate. Well, I shouldn't tell you all that. Yeah, probably hear that in the chat all the time. Mic is a little low. My mic right now. My mic is low. Yeah, I'm not in the green. I can raise it up. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. I don't know if this is better. Well, I know I should be closer, but I don't want to breathe in the mic. That's the other thing. I'll work on that. I'll work on everything. Okay. Got the headset. So lucky. I just raised my volume up quite a bit on the mic. Yeah, I'll look at that too. So wherever I am now, 10 o'clock. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. At 10 o'clock is when I raised my volume up because I don't want to be too close to it. And I really don't want to hear my breathing at all because I noticed that one time when I had to go find something in one of these lives. So we'll see. I'm probably blowing everybody up. Okay, say it's better. Okay, cool. Paul's Motors Inc. coming in for the win at the end. This thing's been all jacked up the whole time. Let's go. Thank you. Hey, if there's any like feedback like whatsoever, then I don't mean like feedback in the audio, but I mean like feedback to help me. And worst case, I just don't do it because I do it the way I want to do it, and that's all good. I'm addicted to watching the audio level. Yeah, I like being further back here. I don't want to talk. Okay. Anyway, this is going off to a completely different tangent. I might do like a test one too, and advertise like y'all. Anybody wants to come in and talk, that's fine. But I might just look at testing a couple things. And I think I can make it private too. So we'll see. I don't know. I enjoy these. Going back to it, I enjoy the lives. I appreciate y'all very much because, as stated, like talking about it being more personal. Rascal, I think that was you that was saying that. So. Always American Outlaw. Always going to be American Outlaw to me. But Rascal bringing that up and how the lives are more personal, absolutely. Because every time like you leave a comment or I leave a comment on your video or there's a reply to a comment or whatever, it's always in the past. This is the only way for the world of YouTube, obviously, that we can actually have a conversation. And for the most part, when I stop rambling and actually look at the chat, I can actually see like going back and forth and stuff like that. And another thing I think would be cool, I know I do these podcast style interviews or whatever, but to have people, without taking away from the podcast, to maybe have a couple people on or something like that. And it would be funny because like we're all on a live together, especially if we could all do it from each other's channel. Because one thing is, I want us all to benefit from that. And I mean like if Lucky, if you're on here, and Rascal, if you want, Restless Mule, Paul's Moto, I think I said Lucky. If you're all on here right now, to be able to stream it if you wanted to on your own channel or have the option to, if that's a thing, I have to look that up. But I think that'd be cool just to do that. And then I joke because there'd be nobody in the comment section because everybody in the comment section is actually on the video. It'd be pretty funny. But if there was anything that anybody wanted to talk about, like I said, I'm talking out loud because the only thing is I don't want to like take away from like how I do the podcast and how I bring one person on to talk about their story rather than having like 3 people on to talk about their story. Well, then that takes away from the podcast. So I don't know. I'm talking out loud, but it still would be pretty fun to do something like that. You're talking out loud. I got a lot of ideas. Not a lot of solutions, but a lot of ideas. The Motovlogger Squares. That's right. That's exactly it. All right, Paul. Yep. So Paul's leaving, I'm out. If he's gone, I'm gone. No, so I thank you all again. This has been a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun for me to do this. Obviously, this conversation I could have had probably in 30 minutes and signed off 20 minutes, really, even if that much. But if I squared away, I could have done it. But having the ability to go back and forth with y'all in the comment section, y'all taking time out of your Wednesday. It doesn't matter if it's Wednesday. It doesn't matter if it's whatever day. It's the fact that y'all take the time out of your day, families and all that stuff, friends, other YouTube videos, making your own videos, going out for rides and all that, to hang out with not just me, but everybody else that's in the chat. So I think it's awesome. I'll be back in 3 weeks. I'll be looking forward to this. This is something, like I said, I used to be nervous about. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% comfortable, but I'm probably like 90% comfortable in doing this. If not a little more, especially towards the end. We'll go as high as 97%. Especially when I get to be this small. This is when I'm 100%. Yeah. All right. Well, I will see y'all on your videos. I will see you all Sunday, and I look forward to the next time we do a live, or if y'all do lives, definitely let me know. Boom. How was that for an old guy? Like a point. We talked about pews in this video, and I'm flashing this. Wait. Anyway, whatever. All right. I got to go. I'm rambling. Y'all have a fantastic night. Thank you again. There's no outro. There's just this button. Take care. Be safe. And enjoy the ride. That's so stupid.